Hi there, my name is Tech from techo.com. Welcome. Now let me talk a little bit about planning. There is a common misconception that planning is about goal setting. Alright, you start your plans by saying, this is where I want to get to, those are my goals and those are my targets. That is definitely part of planning. But the misconception is that planning doesn't start from goals. Goals come from gap analysis. So planning is about gap analysis. What do I mean by that? In order to know where you want to go, you have to create a three-step process. Firstly, define where it is you want to go, what it is you want to look like when you get there, how you want to behave, what markets you're in, what products and services that you offer, and make sure you're really clear about that future picture of where you want to go. Then the second step is to look at where you are now. So how are you measuring up in terms of where you want to be? And then the third step is to look at each gap and say, how do you propose to bridge that gap? Gap analysis. Like anything else, planning is a process. There is a procedure, there is a step-by-step way to get to the end result. And here's the process. Start your planning, any planning, with a description of the vision of your business. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the vision statement or the vision, mission and values. I'm really talking about how you want your business to look like, behave, sell, market, produce at that sometime in the future when you think you've arrived. It must be so clear that you can move on to the second step, which is to break down that vision and actually describe what your business looks like in all of 6 areas. Your market, who it is you're selling to, what do they look like, how much do they buy, why do they buy. Your products, what it is you're offering, your services, the range, what kind of products, what needs do they meet, what they mean to your customers. Your operations, how do you actually work in your business in order to create the value? What are the processes and procedures that you anticipate that you should have? The HR, the people working in your business, whether it's yourself or anybody else or a successor or a group of people or people you subcontract. Who are they? What are their skills? What are they going to look like? How are they going to respond to customers at that ideal time in the future? Infrastructure. What kind of premises will you be in? Will you be online or bricks and mortar? If it's bricks and mortar, what's that going to look like? If it's online, what's your website going to look like? How are you going to respond to both customers and suppliers and other people within those 2 areas? What about equipment? What kind of equipment do you need? What other infrastructure are you going to require to create this ideal picture of your markets, your products, your operations and your HR? And then finance. What are your finances going to look like? What's your profit margin that's ideal for you? What's your net profit margin? What will you take home as profits or as a salary? How will you reward others? What are the ratios of returns of investment and so on? Get this clear so that you know exactly what it is you're aiming at. And then step number 3 is you look at your current state and you do a number of analyses such as Swot Analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Have a look at your markets, your products, your operations, your HR, your infrastructure, your finance, as they are now, and ask yourself in each of those areas, what are your strengths in it? What are your weaknesses in it? What are the opportunities that it might present? And what are the threats that you have to be careful of and risk manage? Once you have a picture of where you want to go and a picture of the current position, you can look at it and say, what are the gaps? If I want this kind of market, but I currently have this kind of market, that's a gap. If I need this kind of skills and experience in my workforce, but I have currently this kind of skills and experience in my workforce, how do I improve them? How do I upgrade them? And that's when you analyze your gaps and you create strategies and tactics to go from the current position to where you want to go, your vision. So you can start work on this by downloading the free download. It's available in the link below. It's called the Gap Analysis Worksheet. You can work through it and take the steps in the correct process and work out what your Gap Analysis is so that you can actually start to create the goals that comes after Gap Analysis. And by the way, if you're interested, I have an online training course called the One-Day Business Plan. It takes you through the entire process of examining all of this, getting to your goals, and then creating objectives and strategies and how to implement them, starting from the vision and the description of the vision. It's very simple to follow because it just asks you a series of day-to-day questions like, give me the picture of your ideal business, and then we'll break it down. So if you're interested, go across to techo.com, click on the products tab, which is at the top, look for the course. It's an online training course called the One-Day Business Plan. I hope to see you there.